Good morning, students. Is my voice audible?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, so today, whatever I was discussing yesterday regarding one presentation to be shared with you people, which is all about the organization culture, okay, which is very much relevant to the subject what we are learning or what I'm teaching to you people, information management system. It's because it's all about how you need to behave when you people start your journey in the career phase. Okay, so it becomes very important when you are an employee or when you are an employer. In fact, when you start a new venture, so what is the culture what you need to follow, or what is organization culture all about? So I felt that this presentation will definitely help you. So I'll just share my screen. Is my screen visible, students? Yes? No?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Yeah. Presentation is visible. Is the presentation visible, students?
Now it's visible.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Okay. Somebody is waiting in the lobby. I'll just check. Okay, so this was one of the presentation what I had given in one of the session. Okay, so the title goes something like this: cultivating ethical skills and behavior in organization. Okay, so we'll just start. So the agenda comprises of these things. I mean, the first one is setting the context, self-assessment. So we'll take up some questions which where we can assess ourselves. Okay, then cultivating a learning culture. What is organizational culture? Then types of culture and top 7 behavioral skills required in an organization. And finally, the closing thoughts. Okay. Yeah, setting the context. Now, this generally are saying, like a picture is more effective and impactful than 1,000 words, and it is definitely worth. Okay, so I have collected few pictures which are highly meaningful. Okay, and which leaves an everlasting impact as well. Okay, so whatever I need to explain, maybe in a paragraph, everything is being summarized in just one image. Okay, so we'll see what is that image. So give some time and read it by yourself. So will you be truthful with me, please? Sorry, that's against medical ethics. 80% of our business conduct is immoral or illegal. I want you to fix the remaining 20%. So I hope you're understanding the real essence behind these images. Are you understanding, students? What these images are trying to reveal or depict the picture? Yes? No? Because it's all about ethics, right? Ethics within an organization. So these pictures reveal something which is funny and at the same time which is required for us to know, right? Understanding or not? Can you really
Yes.
understand, yeah, the meaning of these images? Yes, we'll move further. I think somebody is joining. So yes, how to stump a corporate lawyer. So you have two directions. One is legally, the other way is ethically. So a career in politics, it is like you have to leave the ethics outside the door, before you enter into the career of politics. Similarly, run this by the legal department, but run super fast so the ethics department doesn't see it. It makes a lot of sense within this statement. Sorry, the next one. We have got to draw the line on unethical behavior, but draw it in pens. Okay. Those were some of the pictures, which were on the funny note, but still it was having a lot of information or a lot of hidden, impact was there. So moving further, we'll just take up the self-assessment, all of us, in fact. So I have some set of questions for which we should assess ourselves. Okay, so we'll start. So question yourself, what do you believe in? Okay, so until unless we believe in something, we cannot start our day, correct? So you might have read through a lot of quotes, like even though we are not sure that we might be healthy and fit and fine next day morning, but still we don't forget to keep the alarm. Whether we wake up at the same time or we snooze it and wake up later, that is secondary. But still, we don't forget, to keep the alarm, right? So that is something what we believe in. That yes, everything will be fine. The anticipation, positive anticipation, right? So what do you believe in? So until unless you believe in something, or some students might believe in God, or the power, which is not seen, then, or some might even believe in your parents' strength or your own strength. Yeah, I would like to hear from few students. What do you believe in? One or two answers, quick, unmute and tell me. What do you believe in?
I believe in myself, ma'am.
Yeah, sorry,
Myself.
yourself. Okay. What about others? Any one or two answers? What do you believe in, students? Because everybody will believe, will have a blind belief. It might be right, it might be wrong, but according to you, it is your belief. Yeah, others. What do you
Ma'am,
believe?
what's meant to be yours will always be yours.
Okay, good one there. Okay, we'll move to the next question. Who do you care about generally? Because it's your own life. Okay, all have individual life or personal space, and we have some priorities as well set. Okay, and it's not necessary to reveal everything to everyone, right? So there is some limitation or boundary to what extent we can share information or whatever it is, right? So who do you care about? Yourself, your parents, your life, your accessories, your technical gadgets. What is it? Your materialistic, world. What do you care about? Sorry, who do you care about? Answers? Others who have not answered, please participate. Yes,
Parents, ma'am.
students. Parents. Okay. Any other answer? One more answer so that I can proceed further. I think somebody is texting. See, I have to switch over the window. Okay, so it's better you unmute and speak rather than texting. I guess. Almighty. Okay, fine. That's it. Okay, next question. What motivates you to have existence in this world? What motivates you? What is that? Back end kicking energy for you to surpass everything and face all the challenges as and when it appears, and still you sustain and lead your life peacefully or disturbed in whatever way you take it. What motivates you to be as a human being? Yes, quick.
Critics, ma'am.
Critics. Okay, nice. Next, any other answer? Don't text, don't ping. I want you to, I would like to listen to your voice. And I want some boys also to participate actively. Come on, what motivates you, students? Boys. Boys, what motivates you in your life? There's so many boys in the meeting. What you people are doing? Okay, anybody else? What motivates you? No answer. That means there's no motivation in your life at all. That is the conclusion I can draw. What motivates you? Nothing. Is that so? What motivates you, students? One more answer I require. Quick. Be interactive. One more answer.
Passion, ma'am.
Passion. Okay, good. Next. Are you a spiritual person? Yes or no? Are you a spiritual person? Are you attracted to the unseen or unaware force? Are you a spiritual person, students? Yes or no? Definitely, yeah. Most of you will say yes. Maybe very few might say no. Okay, it depends. It depends on them because it's very personal, in fact. Next, why are you really in the workplace? So now, think that. Put yourself in, the role where you've already started your career. Okay, as software engineers or whatever. Okay, why are you really in the workplace? What, according to you, you think you are in the workplace for? To earn money, to earn fame, to buy
Ma'am,
all
I would say
Apple products.
money, ma'am.
Money. Okay. I want some interesting answer for this question. Why are you really in the workplace? One answer I got. Something else. You can
To live
answer,
in a better situation than we are in now.
Okay, then. Good. So you need not get scared when you are sharing your thoughts just because you are addressing to a faculty or the head of the department. You can give out your own answer. Okay. Fine. Okay. Good one then. How do you differentiate between right and wrong according to you? Because each one of us, we have one strategy or means of commenting or making judgment or making statements that you are right or you are wrong or this is right, this is wrong. It could be to your younger one or older one, whatever. How do you differentiate between what is happening correctly or wrong? Quick, think and give me the answer.
Ma'am, it
Because it's,
depends from situation to situation, ma'am.
but
Like
still,
it may be a person.
okay, it is situational based, that is okay, understandable, but still, what according to you, you feel, how do you differentiate between right and wrong?
Ma'am, the intentions, ma'am, if the intentions are right, even if the intentions are correct, even the wrong can look right.
Okay, fine, good. Something else? Anybody would like to add on? So one of your friends said intention, one of your friends said it is situational based. Okay. Any other answer? Any other perception? How you look into in order to differentiate between right and wrong? Yes, there are 20 plus students. Some more answers. One more, so that I can move further. Yes, students. One more answer. How do you differentiate between right and wrong? No answer? Okay, fine. Next, what is life all about for you? What is life all about for you? What is it one thing, or what is it you feel that life is existing for you only because of that? Answer, one or two answer. Quick. What is life all about for you? Come on, students. No answer. I don't want you to text. Please unmute and tell me.
Ma'am, what if I say there is nothing?
Nothing.
I mean,
See,
not
there
at
is
all.
nothing, then how can you lead your life? There should be something. That is the reason you're there, right? You wake up early
Yes.
morning, you do your routine for something. Otherwise, you would be completely left out. You were not part of this, virtual class or online class. So, what is life all about for you? Students, others, one or two students. Think, students.
Maybe accomplishing goals.
Okay, accomplishing goals. Okay.
I set ourselves.
Hmm.
To make our future best through this life.
Yeah, so everybody wants that, right? So we want whatever as and when it comes, it should be the best, and I or you or whoever it is, we should be deserving to receive those best things. Okay, okay. So next we'll move on, cultivating a learning culture. Okay. So it so happens that any organization, culture is very important, right? Because the organization would have certain norms, rules, regulations, policies, and they have one work culture. And any new employee or new entrant, when they join the organization in whichever designation or in whichever hierarchy, doesn't matter. It requires some time for them to adopt, to get adapted to the environment so that they also learn what is the organization culture. And it sometimes it so happens that it will be so very difficult to get adapted to the organization culture that the employee might think of leaving the organization. So you should understand that when you start your career, if things are not going normal in the sense, you should like your workplace the moment you are working, whether it is physical or virtual. When you say you are in your work at your workplace, it means you should be full of energy, positive energy. You should give your best, right? So that means you have adapted to the culture or working environment. If you feel very negligence, that why should I, or how does this time surpass, that means you have some difficulty with respect to adjusting or compromising with respect to the culture of the organization. Okay, so we'll see how to cultivate a learning culture now. So you have some ethics, you have the behavior, and that leads to culture. So what is ethics, students? What is ethics according to you? What is ethics? What is behavior? Because the diagram depicts that the ethics combined with behavior leads to culture. Okay, that in turn makes a happy workplace or a happy living place, which can take you anywhere over the world. Okay, so that is what the meaning of this particular diagram is. Happy family. So that family could be at your workplace or in your living place, wherever. Okay, tell me, what is ethics now?
Mom, it's a moral principle that depicts the behavior of a person.
Okay, Googled answer. Okay, fine. What is behavior then? It's an act, right? Ethics is some act or some principle, some discipline. Okay, what is behavior? Behavior. What is behavior, students? Come on, tell me, what is behavior? Not even one answer. What according to you behavior means?
Ma'am, how a person acts towards you or how we behave. Like,
So it is your reaction, right? Your reaction. Either it could be positive or negative, right? The way you accept whatever it comes to you, right? Based on that, you behave actually, or you react, correct? So that is behavior. So the moral or the principles laid down, okay, plus how you accept it, okay, leads to the culture, and in return, the happy workplace, okay? Now, so these are some of the points, like compliance culture. So here, what it requires is data interpreted and used to meet requirements and follow rules. See, any organization for that matter, they don't, lay out the rules just like that. Okay, even they will collect few data or what is the expectation from the employees, and then only they draft the rules or make rules or amendments. Got it? So data collected are analyzed at prescribed intervals. So analysis is very important. It is not that only CSE, IC students only need to do data analysis. Data can be analyzed everywhere and anywhere. Okay. So data function is siloed and rarely integrated into decision making. So this data analysis is definitely used for making decisions. So this is the compliance culture. Okay. So that leads to what? Transition. What is a transition? Organizational change management strategies. So what are those management strategies? Planning and coordination, implementation, assessment, communication, and feedback. Okay. So just to give you an example or just to relate it, your faculty, if I have to take up any course faculty, then the faculty will definitely plan how to execute the course or the concepts, and she or he will coordinate with the classes, and then he will implement whatever strategies he need to do or whatever teaching methodology he would like to adopt. And assessment also needs to be done, and communication and feedback is very essential, because it helps to rectify, okay? Because if the feedback is not good, then definitely it should be improvised to make it much better, right? So based on this, there is a transition, okay? Transition towards a learning culture. So what is this? Data is used for making informed operational and programmatic decisions and changes. Data is collected and analyzed regularly. That should be there always. And data is used by all staff levels. And routine questions and inquiry are encouraged. Okay, so this is cultivating a learning culture. Okay, you cannot make any habit or anything, you cannot introduce overnight, right? So can anyone answer this question? How many days is required to cultivate one habit for
21
a
days,
human
ma'am.
being? How many?
21.
21 days. Okay, so it is 20 plus days. Again, it differs, person to person. So to make something which you're doing it continuously every day, and you incorporate that practice in your daily routine, and if you have to consider it that that particular routine is your habit, then it takes a minimum of 20 plus days. Okay, so it's not that easy, to ask somebody to get adapted right on day one. Okay, yeah. Going next, organization culture. So what is organization culture? So it is defined as the shared values, the attitudes and practices that characterize an organization. It's the personality of your company, and it plays a large part in your employees' overall satisfaction, right? So it is not sufficient that to whomever you report, okay, to your immediate superior. It could be your team lead, it could be your project lead, or it could be your manager, whatever. It depicts how you are behaving, okay, in the entire organization. Okay, the values you share, the values you take away, the attitude you show towards anywhere. It could be during the workplace, during the short breaks, right, or during the presentation. So a lot of things matters. Okay, so it's the your overall persona or the personality what defines, right? According to, okay, this is one just a survey. So 77% of adults would evaluate a company's culture before applying to an open position. Perhaps more impactful, 56% rank an organization company culture as more important than compensation. See, gone those days where if I have if I was offered one position in one particular company, then I would definitely not do any survey 10 years down the line, without doing any survey like how is the company, what is the working culture, how many employees the company is having, which are the different corporate offices located across the globe, and what is the revenue, what is the profit. There's so many things which I need not survey at all, right? I would just go as a complete blank person, and I would just follow the way the saying goes, right? Just follow the horse, that kind. but the scenario is completely changed now, okay, thanks to the technology. See, even you people also, the moment you get to know something, you are more anxious and curious to know more about it. You know, you start exploring, right? And same thing holds good even with respect to recruitment also. So nowadays people, even before applying for an open position, they do a lot of survey, they explore, you know, to the maximum extent, like what is the company all about, or what is the organization all about, and what are its rules, regulations, because now everything is transparent, right? Everything is being published over the website. So it becomes easy for the person to be very choosy to whether apply for the vacancy or not, right? So even before the candidate is shortlisted, you know, he or she might decide not to go for that particular company based on the reviews, rating, feedback, so many aspects, right? So that's become a trend now, in fact. Yes. Components of organization structure, definitely the routine ways of communicating. Okay, there is a protocol. In fact, you know, you cannot communicate something like the way you communicate with your family members or with your friends, right? There is a protocol. There is some what to say, there are some what I'm not getting the exact word to fit in here, like addressing, you know, when you have to address to somebody, you cannot say, you know, hey bro, hey dude and all. So in an organization there are, you know, proper addressing channels as well. So routine ways of communicating is important, and the norms shared by individuals and teams. And even there will be a protocol when there is a discussion among the team, okay, among the team in the presence of team leader, then there will be some things which need to be discussed only within a team, right? And when you are discussing or having communication or conversation with some other individual, then uh, the uh, the protocol changes. Okay, there are so many norms, in fact, because you've been monitored, you've been watched every time, because you are working for an organization. And in fact, if you can ask your you know, friends or siblings who are already working in corporates, you know, they have a very high restricted environment, you know, in their workplace. They cannot use Gmail, or they cannot use some tools at all, you know, it is completely disabled, in fact. So they have to make use of, you know, only team viewer, or only through Skype, only through their, you know, organization ID they have to log in. They cannot open their personal mail, they cannot use WhatsApp. There are so many restrictions, in fact. Why all these restrictions are brought into? So that the sensitive information is not being leaked away. Okay, so that is the main intent. Next, values held by an organization. So an organization will be identified, or it would have been set as a brand, just because it has some core values within it, right? So if somebody is trying to distract, or somebody is trying to have a bad remark on the organization, then it is not good, right? So that is important. Next, guiding philosophy for management policies and decision making. This is already there, because only until and unless policies are not there, you cannot make take appropriate decision. In fact, you know, so many organization, okay, I'll take an example of recruitment only. The moment you are recruited, you've been asked to join in on that particular specific date. The moment you join, you know, they ask you to sign a contract or bond, which you might not like. So you might immediately take a decision not to join this particular company, right? So there are so many things, in fact. And in some instances, it so happens that you join a company, and you have you'll be put on you know, training, exclusive training. And that too, you'll be surprised to know that few organizations give training to the maximum extent on what you have learned in your engineering as well, basic C, or you know, Java or software engineering alone. And you will have long training sessions, okay, every weekly based assessment assignments, okay. And you will have one final examination, or you know, term and assessment, and there will be a threshold set up. And if you don't cross that particular threshold, then in the policy, they would have you know, documented very clearly that if a candidate is not having a threshold of whatever percentage, okay, 40 percentage, then he or she will be terminated without any notice, further notice. So think of the amount of pressure, you know, you people will be in to get to know the concepts, you know, much better way. So that is the reason you people don't show the interest when you know, it's been taught in the classes. This happens with everyone, including me, because even I was a student. But when you've been asked to do something, or when you're being paid, or when it is a question of your reputation to showcase or to demonstrate amongst the team members, then your self-respect comes into picture. You feel like, yes, I have to do something so that tomorrow I should not be terminated without notice within 2 months. That is a very bad remark when you start your career. You're getting. So it's important, very very important. So rules of the game for getting along in the organization, this is also required. Now the rules are not that healthy, so I hope you understand what I mean with not that healthy, because both boys and girls are there. I hope you know, because you are much aware of what's happening in the current scenario. So there are some rules, some are good, competitive, some are unhealthy and unethical in fact. So you have to be very cautious and careful. Climate of the organization. So not every time, or not every instance, it would be the same the way you communicate to your peers or to your superiors. So you have to even know the climate of the organization. So this means, if suppose there is a huge loss for the company, okay, and you go directly and interact with your manager the way you used to communicate earlier, the routine way, maybe that it will not be received in a much better way. Okay, so you should understand what is happening in the organization, because you are an integral part of the organization, right? So climate of the organization is very very important. So you need to know what's happening every day as an organization, as a whole. Okay, whether it's witnessing profit, it's witnessing some loss, or some employees are doing something, or it could be so there could be so many factors in fact. So these are some of the layers of organization culture. So shared assumptions lead to cultural values lead to shared behaviors, and shared behaviors lead to cultural symbols, right? Emergence of culture. So how was this culture emerged? So it was all started with the top management. So top management agrees on shared assumptions of human behavior, develops a shared vision of cultural values, so which leads to behavior of employees, definitely. So employees behave in ways that are consistent with shared values and assumptions, and which leads to results. So it could be financial performance, it could be market share increase, or it could be employee commitment or employee engagement. See, until and unless the employee is happy, the best out of him or her will not be given to the organization. So until and unless the employee will give out the best, he or she will not be eligible for appraisals or hikes or perks. You understanding? So even your promotion also depends on that. So think of, if you're not happy in your workplace, then you cannot give your best. When you cannot give your best, you cannot be nominated for promotions or appraisals. Okay. So there are so many interlinking factors. Got it? The culture, strong culture emerges, traditions are maintained, socialization practices for new employees. In fact, the Western people, they like Indian culture more, right? So somebody is joining now. I don't know who is that. Okay, fine. So generally, there's a saying that Western people or Western countries, they like Indian culture. The other way around is also true, but they like our culture, and the moral values, hidden within our culture. Okay. So, okay, I'll just finish and I will continue later in the next class. So methods for maintaining organization culture. What managers and teams pay attention to: reactions to organizational crisis, managerial role modeling, criteria for rewards, criteria for selection and promotion, organizational rights, ceremonies, and stories, right? So recruitment of employees who fit the culture. So that is the reason, you sometimes you'll be surprised, even though you would have given your best in your technical round, or in your group discussion round, or in your HR round, and you're completely confident that yes, this particular offer is meant only to me, or I'll be the one definitely shortlisted. But finally, when the results are out, you will be disappointed to see that your name is not there, because the company people think that you might not be suitable for the work culture, what they have, right? So that will not be aware to you. So then later you start blaming that, okay, there was some fixing, blah blah blah, whatever. Okay, so it's important. Okay, so just don't don't jump to conclusion that if your technical rounds or whatever rounds are there in your recruitment process, if all are fine or if all have gone very well, doesn't mean that you will be selected. Okay, so there are other parameters or aspects which they look into also. So removal of employees who deviate from the culture. This is also, you might have heard that all of a sudden, employees were laid off or fired off. So this is because anyone who deviates from the organization culture will not be eligible to retain in the organization, further. So they might be terminated with notice, without notice. This happens very frequently in the multinational organizations or any companies, in fact. Okay. Yeah, I think we'll just stop here. Types of culture we will take up in the next class. Okay. Maybe by today evening I will share one quiz on module 4 students. So 22 students are present. Okay then, fine. Thank you.